Today we're going to be using multiplication, the regrouping method to solve multiplication word problems. And this is lesson 3.7. It says, during the 2010 Great Backyard Bird Count, an average of 42 bald eagles were counted in each of 20 locations throughout Alaska. In 2009, an average of 32 bald eagles were counted in each of 26 locations throughout Alaska. Based on this data, how many more bald eagles were counted in 2010 than in 2009? So it says use the graphic organizer to help you solve the problem. What do we need to find? I'm going to read that last sentence to you again. Based on this data, how many more bald eagles were counted in 2010 than in 2009? What do I need to find? I need to find blank bald eagles were counted in 2010 and in 2009. What word or word goes in that blank, Shelby? How many more? Good job. So we're going to fill that in. It's kind of a small space, so if you need to, you can do like I'm doing and finish it up top and then draw a little carrot. That's what it's called, a little carrot. Okay, what information do we need to use? In 2010, blank locations counted an average of blank bald eagles each. So look at the problem again. In 2010, how many locations did it say? Landon? 20. And in those 20 locations, Landon, how many bald eagles did they spot at each one? 42. Good. Give yourself a point. Okay. So we're going to fill that in for 2010. Now we're going to look at 2009. How many locations reported bald eagles in 2009? Cash?
In 2010.
2009.
32.
32 bald eagles in how many locations?
26.
Good job. Okay. So now we've got, give yourself a point, Cash. So now we've got the information that we need to use, and it says, how will we use the information? This sounds overwhelming at first, but we're gonna break it down into smaller problems. So first, we're going to find the number of bald eagles counted in 2010. Then we're going to find the number of bald eagles counted in 2009. Then we're going to draw a model to compare the 2010 count to the 2009 count. So fill in 2010, 2009, 2010, and 2009. Okay, so I'm going to set these up as two multiplication problems. My heading or my label is going to be 2010 and then 2009. In 2010, and which we've got 42 and 20. Dakota, which number should I put on top? 42 or 20?
42.
42, how come?
Because it's bigger.
Very good. Bigger number always goes on top. And then for 2009, I have two numbers, 32 and 26. Waylon, which one goes on top?
Which one goes on top? 32, 26, 32.
How come?
Because it's bigger.
Yep, we always put the bigger number on top. All right, so we've got two problems here to do. So let's get started, okay? I'm going to try to sit here whenever I'm doing some of these problems. So Colin, you'll be able to see, and I won't be blocking your view. I'll see how that goes. Okay, first we pretend the 2 isn't there, and we go 0 times 2,
0.
and 0 times 4.
0.
Okay, bring our 2 back. Put our 0 placeholder. 2 times 2?
4.
And 2 times 4? 8. And then we add those 2 totals together, or partial products, and we get 840 in 2010. Okay? Then, in 2009, we start by pretending the 2's not there, and we go 6 times 2.
12.
Put down the 2, carry the 1. 6 times 3,
18.
plus 1 more.
19.
Okay, so we'll put our 19 here. Now we're going to bring back the 2, but first we have to cross out this 1 and put our 0 placeholder. Then we're going to go 2 times 2, which is 4, and 2 times 3,
6.
and now we add them up. 2 plus 0 is 2, 9 and 4 is 13. Put down the 3, carry the 1. 6 and 1 is 7, plus 1 is 8. So in 2009, we've got 832. Now, so we're going to fill this in real quick. So we did, for 2010, we did 42 times 20 and got 840. Jace, are you writing?
Already finished.
32 times 26, and we got 832. And now they drew a bar model so we could compare. So on the bar model, we've got 840 in 2010, and then we've got 832 in 2009. They want us to figure out what's right here. How could we do that? How can we figure out the difference? Brinley?
Subtract.
Subtract. Good girl. All right. That difference kicked it in, right? Hearing that difference? My favorite math word, difference. Okay, so if we're finding the difference, Brinley told us we subtract. And which number is going to go on top? This one or this one?
840.
840 because it is
Bigger.
bigger. Good, guys. 840 minus 832. 0 minus 2. Can't do it. Uh-oh, I heard somebody say 2. Landon. If you have 0 cookies, you cannot give me 2, even though I might. No, I won't. Okay, so we have to go next door and borrow from the 4, make it a 3, put a 1 in front of that 0. So now we have 10 minus 2, 8. 3 minus 3 is nothing. 8 minus 8 is nothing. So we're going to leave it at 8. So the
Also, how you
difference,
could have figured it out. You could have added. That's a big difference.
since we're finding the difference,
But you could have added. Because
of course you
8
can.
plus 2 equals 10.
But you have to think, addition and subtraction are linked, they're inverse operations. So you can count up, but if we had a number like 531 and 840, would you be able to count up?
I could count to 1,000.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow, trying to show off.
Okay. I hope you can count to 1,000. I hope everybody in here can count to 1,000.
3,000 in fact.
Okay, so Jace, here's what I'm going to tell you.
What?
Here's what I'm going to tell you. Are you going to listen? I think it would take you a lot longer to count up from 531 to 840 than to do this. So I'm
You could
giving
also
you.
use tens.
You could, but still it's going to take you a lot longer, okay? So how about you let me do the teaching and you keep a zip, okay? All right, so there were 8 more bald eagles counted in 2010 than in 2009. All right, this one seems a little tricky, so listen to this one. Prescott Valley, Arizona reported a total of 29 mourning doves in the Great Backyard Bird Count. How about you just listen? What was the difference? Turn around, sit in your chair the correct way.
8.
Huh? 840 minus 832 is 8. Okay, now listen. Prescott Valley, Arizona reported a total of 29 mourning doves in the Great Backyard Bird Count. Mesa, Arizona reported 20 times as many mourning doves as Prescott Valley. If Chandler reported a total of 760 mourning doves, how many more mourning doves were reported in Chandler than in Mesa? That sounds pretty confusing, right?
I'm still counting.
So this is something we're going to break it into steps. So what do we need to find? What's the bottom line here? What do we need to find, Ella?
760 times 20.
No. What does the question ask us? What's it asking us to find? Dakota?
How many more mourning doves were reported in Chandler than Mesa?
Good job. That's what it's wanting. Okay, does that make sense, Ella? So the question is, what they're ultimately wanting us to find, I'm not going to make you write all that down, but I'm going to have you underline it and draw an arrow to the box. Okay? So instead of just copying down what they've written right above, Sophie, what are you playing with? Put it up, put it in your desk, and focus. How many more mourning doves were reported in Chandler than in Mesa? That's ultimately what they want us to find. What information do we need to use? Well, let's start with Prescott Valley. I'm going to abbreviate it with a PV, okay? So Prescott Valley, how many mourning doves were spotted in Prescott Valley? Landon? 29, good. So Prescott Valley, they found 29. Landon, you can have a point. How many mourning doves were there in Mesa? Waylon?
Mesa reported 20 times as many doves as Prescott Valley.
Yeah, so they didn't give us an actual number, right? They just told us it was 20 times as many as Prescott Valley. And how many did Prescott Valley have?
29.
29. So to find Mesa, we're going to have to do a little work and do 29 times 20. And then finally, how many were in Chandler?
760.
760. Okay, so we know the 3 different cities, and we know really what they have. We just have to do a little bit of work on Mesa. Easy peasy, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to do that real quick. 29 times 20. Okay, 0 times 0?
0.
0 times 2.
0.
Okay, we're going to go to the 2, so we need our 0 placeholder. 2 times 9?
18.
Put down the 8, carry the 1, 2 times 2.
4.
Plus 1 more?
5.
Okay, if we add 580 to 2 zeros, we get 580. And so in Mesa, I'm going to put equals 580. Okay, and then down here it says, how will I use the information? This is what you're going to write. Draw a bar model. Copy this down. Draw a bar model to compare Mesa and Chandler. Okay.
You forgot bar model. You
Oh,
said
yeah,
bar
I
model.
just said bar, or model. Here we go. Draw a bar model. Thank you, Burnley. Draw a bar model to compare Mesa and Chandler. So they have already drawn a bar model for us, and they want us to find this gap. How can we find that gap, Waylon?
Subtract.
Subtract. Beautiful. Okay, give yourself a point. right, Waylon, so we're gonna take 760, which is our bigger number, right? And take away what?
580.
580, good. 0 minus 0, 0. 6 minus 8, can't do it, so we're gonna borrow from the 7, make it a 6. Put a little 1 in front of our 6 and make it a 16. 16 minus 8, 8. And 6 minus 5, 1. So in the gap, there's actually 180, that's the difference. So that means that Chandler spotted 180 more mourning doves than in Mesa. We can check this and make sure we didn't make a subtraction error by adding. So if we add 580 and 180, what should it equal?
720.
Ethan?
760.
760, it's right up here. So 580 plus 180 should equal 760, right?
Yes.
So let's see if that works. So if we do 580 plus 180, 0 plus 0, 0. 8 plus 8,
16.
put down the 6, carry the 1, 5, 6, 7. 760. And that is how we know our answer is reasonable, which it asks in the next question. It says, is your answer reasonable? Explain. Yes, because 180 plus 580 equals 760. So in other words, we found the difference, which was 180, and when we checked it by adding it to this, we got this, which is correct.
What is not yet?
Okay. All right, after you get that copied down, flip your papers over. And now, normally I would have you do these by yourself. These are some pretty complex problems, and I absolutely know that many of you could do them on your own. But we're going to do these together today, just because we don't normally do that. Yep, we're going to go through them all together, as long as you continue to stay engaged and answering questions when I ask them. Julie, sit down so that Waylon can see. You can't stand there, okay? You've got somebody right directly behind you now. Okay. Oops. All right. Here we go. So we're going to skip over number 1 because that was an example. Number 2 says the students in Miss Lee's class each collected, the 24 students in Miss Lee's class each collected an average of 18 cans for recycling. Do you want to do these on your own? Put your pencil down and pay attention, okay? The 21 students in Mr. Galvez's class each collected an average of 25 cans for recycling. How many more cans were collected by Mr. Galvez's class than Miss Lee's class? Okay, so I'm going to do these in 2 different colors to help us see. Okay, so for Miss Lee's class, what are the 2 numbers that I'm going to multiply together?
41 and 25.
Nope.
24 and 18.
24 and 18 with the 24 on top. Okay? And then for Mr. Galvez's class, I'm just going to call him Mr. G. Because that's if he was my teacher, that's what I would call him.
No, just like
I'd be like, yo, Mr. G. What up?
like Mr. C from actually.
Okay, here we go. So how many did Mr. G's class bring in?
21, 25.
Okay, so 25 and 21, right? Okay, so let's do Miss Lee's class first. And we're gonna pretend that one's not there, right? I'm gonna be falling over this all the time. I don't know what is going on with me lately, but I'm so clumsy. Super clumsy. Okay, it happens. 8 times 4 is 32. Put down the 2, carry the 3. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 3 more is 19. Now we're done with that 3, so I'm gonna cross it out and put my 0 placeholder. And now I'm going to go 1 times 4 is 4, 1 times 2 is 2. Then what do we do, Cash?
1, and then you do 0 times 2, which would be 2 plus, that'd be 2, and then 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Put
So
down the 3.
3 carry the 1, and then 2, 3, 4, so it'd be 432.
Good. I got to tell you guys, Cash and Sophie were totally rocking it yesterday.
No wonder they got to spin the wheel.
Totally rocking it. They were, both of them were doing problems like this yesterday.
Whoa, that looks easy.
Both of them were doing those problems.
Partial product.
Yeah, she did it with partial products, which means that you have to do like 9 equations? 6 equations. For a 2-digit. If you do this, you do 9. But yeah, it was a lot of work, but they were doing a great job. You guys would have been super proud of them. Okay. All right.
Show us it.
Nope, not right now. Okay. So now we're going to go 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 2 is 2. 0 placeholder. 2 times 5 is 10. Put down the 0, carry the 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 more.
5.
So we're adding 500 to 25, so 525. So Mr. G's class got 525. Miss Lee's class got 432. And the question says how many more? How many more tells us to subtract, right?
Yep.
It's right over here on our word clues. How many more subtraction? There's one of these that they threw out to make it tricky later, and I just couldn't believe it. Okay, so so which number goes on top? 500 or 400? 500. 525 minus 432. So 5 minus 2? 3. 2 minus 3? Borrow from the 5, make it a 4, make the 2 a 12, minus 3? 9. 4 minus 4 is 0. So 93, and we're talking about cans.
I put more cans.
So that'll work. So Miss Lee did 24 times 18, and we got 432. Mr. G, 25 times 21, thank you. And we got 525. Then we subtracted 525 minus 432. And we got 93 more cans. Okay. Okay, at East School, each of the 45 classrooms has 22 students. At West School, each of the 42 classrooms has 23 students. How many more students are at East than West School? Okay, I'm going to do this one on the TV so it won't have to do double work. And save a little time since I'm making a video. Okay, so we have East.
Can you go back up?
East, we do 45 times 22. And then West, numbers do we do?
23 times 42.
42 times 23. Okay, and now let's do it to it. Okay, first, 2 times 5 is
0.
10. Put down the 0, carry the 1. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. Now cross out the 1 and do a 0 placeholder. Now 2 times 5 again is 10. Put down the 0, carry the 1. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So when we add those together, we're going to get 990 students at East School. Okay? Now for West School, we're going to go 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 4 is 12. Put down the 0. 2 times 2, 4. 2 times 4, 8. When we add those together, we get 966. Which is more, 990 or 966?
990.
Dakota, put your mask up. That's your warning, okay? All right, now we have to find the difference. Thank you. 990 minus 966. Okay, so 0 minus 6. Can't do it. Turn that 9 into an 8 and bring a 1 over. 10 minus 6.
4.
8 minus 6.
2.
9 minus 9.
0. 24 cans.
So 24 students. Okay, so 24 more students. How many more students? 24 more students. Okay, so this is kind of cool. I'm going to tell you guys, this is draw a model, bar model that shows how the number of hours in March compares with the number of hours in February of this year. You guys know what a leap year is, right?
Yes, it's a day that, it's an extra day in that.
It's an extra day in the month of what, Jace?
May.
You know?
May.
February.
February.
Okay,
You're all
so,
confusing me. So I had to go with one of theirs.
okay, maybe you should use your own brain. Okay, so listen. So in order to, I'm not sure the reasoning behind it and everything, but I know that every 4 years, February gets an extra day. So think about this for a second. I went to high school with a girl who was born February 29th, and on her 16th birthday, she was only 4 years old. Okay? Ethan, you know why?
Because 29 is only for leap years, and leap year only happens every 4 years.
That's exactly right. So listen, if somebody was born, if a baby was born on February 29th of 2020, there is not a February 29th of 2021. There is not a February 29th of 2022. There is not a February 29th of 2023. So their first birthday would technically be when they're turning 4. Now they obviously they're still a year older each year. So typically if you're born on February 29th, you celebrate your birthday either on the 28th or March 1st. But it's kind of crazy, so...
Wait, is she
Actually, I was born on February 18th.
Is she like this?
So when she turned 40, she was technically only 10 years old. She had only had 10 actual birthdays.
That would be illegal.
Isn't that crazy?
That
Okay,
would be illegal.
so let's get back to the problem because we're making a video. Okay, so here we go. So how many hours are in one day?
24.
24. Does anyone know how many days there are in the month of March?
Yes.
30.
Huh? 31. Okay. So then in February, we just talked about it, February of this year, there were 29 days in February, and of course, still 24 hours in a day. So these are the two problems we're doing. March, 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 3 is 12. 0 placeholder, 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 3 is 6. When you add those together, you get 744 hours in the month of March. For February, 4 times 9 is 36. Put down the 6, carry the 3. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 3 is 11. Cross out the 3, 0 placeholder. 2 times 9 is 18. Put down the 8, carry the 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. When we add those together, we get 696. Now the whole problem said to draw a bar model to compare them. So we're going to draw a bar model like this, and this is going to say 744 hours. This will be for March. And then we're going to draw a shorter rectangle that will have 696 hours for February. Now, how do we find this gap here? What do we have to do? We're finding the
Difference.
So that means we subtract 744 minus 696. 4 minus 6.
Can't do it.
So make the 4 a 3, make this 4 a 14. 14 minus 6, 8. 3 minus 9, can't do it. Make the 7 a 6, make the 3 a 13. 48 hours difference, which makes sense because there's 2 days between 29 and 31. Each of those 2 days has 24 hours in it. So the difference is 48 hours difference. Okay.
Hours is 2 days.
All right, here we go.
Look, can you go back up and look at that?
It's just 48 hours. So you're labeling March's bar model and February's bar model with their numbers and then the difference. But we're moving on. Okay. Ace Manufacturing ordered 17 boxes with 85 ball bearings in each. You guys heard of ball bearings before? Okay, they're like a automotive part, like a car part, or ball bearings are on like I think anything with like wheels or something.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, next they also ordered 15 boxes with 90 springs in each. How many more ball bearings than springs did they order? All right, quick, we're gonna do. I'm gonna abbreviate BB for ball bearings and S for springs. Ball bearings, they ordered 85 times 17. Springs, they ordered 90 times 15. Okay. 7 times 5 is 35. Put down the 5, carry the 3. 7 times 8 is 56, plus 3, 56, 57, 58, 59. Cross out the 3, put our 0 placeholder. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 8 is 8. Add those together, and they got 1,445 ball bearings. Now we go. Are you making good decisions? Waylon? Was that you making those noises?
No.
Landon, knock it off, dude. 5 times 0 is
0.
0. 5 times 9?
45.
25. 0 placeholder. 1 times 0? 1 times 9?
9.
Now we've got to add those together. Get you another one if you need it. 1,350 springs. So here's what you're going to write down. Ball bearings, 85 times 17. And what did we get? 1,445. 1445. Okay, Springs, 90 times 15. And then we got 1350, 1,350. And wants to know how many more. So we're going to go 1,445 minus 1,350. And that will get us 95. 95 more ball bearings.
Nice.
Dakota, I have a bunch of pencils that you can grab out of those back there. They're already sharpened and everything by the binders. Okay. We've got, this is the last problem of this type. And then we're going to do 4 review problems that will be real quick. Okay. Elton hikes 16 miles each day on a 12-day hiking trip. So we have Elton. Elton, the rock star. Elton, he hiked 16 miles a day for 12 days. Okay? And then we have Lola. Lola, and she hiked 14 miles a day for 16 days. I'm going to flip-flop that and do 16 times 14.
Exactly what I did, Miss Peterson.
Good? Okay, so here we go. You guys say what I multiply each time. You walk me through it. What do I do first?
2 times 6.
12. Put down the 2. Carry the 1.
2 times 1 equals 2. Plus 1 equals 3. Scratch out the 1, put a 0 in your holding place. 1 times 6 equals 6. 1 times 1 equals 1.
Beautiful.
32. Wow.
So Elton hiked 192 miles. Woo! Okay, now what do we do for Lola?
4 times 4 is 24. Put down 4. This 2. 4 times 1 equals 4. Plus 2 is 6. Scratch out your 2, put a 0 in your holding place. 1 times 6 equals 6. And then 4 times 1 equals 1.
Okay, add them together. We get 224. Woo! That's some serious walking.
Ow, I forgot.
Okay, so Elton.
I accidentally just grabbed my finger with a pencil.
No. Okay, so here's Elton.
With let out.
What?
I said with let out.
You, because Cash was laughing at him.
Why would you laugh if somebody hurts themselves?
I don't know.
Why is your hat on? Go put your hat up. Get your mask over your nose too. Okay, here's Elton. 16 times 12 is 192. And then Lola was 16 times 14. And hers was 224. Now this is the one I was telling you about. What are the words right here?
In all.
In all. Now I want to show you something right here. In all addition. But now watch this. In all, how many more?
We have to get 2 answers.
No, how many more is subtraction. They were trying to trick you with that in all thing. Ultimately, we're just subtracting. But it's saying in all because in all, Elton walked 192. In all, Lola walked 224. But in all, how many more miles did Lola hike than Elton? I don't like that they did that because that's, if you're going to teach students, Cash, to pay attention to language and pay attention to key words, and then you stick some in just to trick them, that's not cool. Okay, So we are finding how many more, which is 224 minus 192. 4 take away 2 is 2. 2 minus 9,
Can't do
can't do it. 12 minus 9 is 3, so 32 more miles. Okay, now we're doing a spiral review, and that is stuff that we've done before. An orchard has 24 rows of apple trees. There are 35 apple trees in each row. How many apple trees are in the orchard? What do we do on this problem? Easy peasy compared to what we've been doing all day. Shelby?
35 times 24.
35 times 24, that's it. Okay, 35 times 24. Write this down, show your work. 4 times 5 is 20. Put down the 0. Carry the 2. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 is 14. Cross out the 2, 0 placeholder. 2 times 5 is 10. Put down the 0, carry the 1. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. When we add those together, we get 840 apple trees.
Talking about apple trees, we have an apple tree at our house.
Cool, watch this.
We also
An amusement park reported 354,605 visitors last summer. What is this number rounded to the nearest thousand? Okay, so it's been a little bit, but you guys round all the time, right? So here's the number. 354,605. In that number, what digit is in the thousands place? Everybody's hand should go up here. Colin, what digit's in the thousands place? The 4, beautiful. So everybody underline that. And then extend that underline all the way to the front. Okay? And what does, so this is 354. What does 6 tell 354 to do?
go up to a 5.
Go up to 355. What happens to the 6, 0, and the 5?
0.
So our answer is 355,000. Okay. Attendance at the football game was 102,653. What is the value of the digit 6? Okay, so what place is the 6 in first? Zing? Hundreds place. And if you have a 6 in the hundreds place, what's the value of it? 600. Good job, Zing. Okay. This one is tricky. Okay.
Fish.
Jill's fish weighs 8 times as much as her parakeet. See if you can figure it out, Shelby, if you want to try.
What's a parakeet?
A bird. Together, the pets weigh 63 ounces. How much does the fish weigh? Okay. You got an idea of how to do it? You guys want to try it on your own, on your marker boards?
Yes.
Okay, try it out, and then we'll go over it in just like 2 minutes.
I don't get it.
If you don't want to try it, so Jason, Zing, if you don't want to try it, work on those other problems. If you don't want to try it, make up a problem to do a multiplication problem.
What numbers do we have to do?
What?
What numbers do we do?
You can make up any numbers.
I finished.
Okay, you think you got it? Nope. We are not just multiplying here. If you're doing 63 times 8, this is review. This is review from our first chapter.
I did my own
No.
thing, right?
Okay, all right.
No, I did my own thing. Is that right?
I don't know. Okay, all right, guys. Look, we're gonna go ahead and go through it because I don't think anybody's doing this right. That's okay. This is, what'd you say?
55.
Oh, you're super, super, super close, Landon. And I think you didn't. All right, here, we're going to go over the last question. Here we go. Jill's fish weighs 8 times as much as her parakeet. So here's what we're talking about. We're talking about a fish and a parakeet, right? A parakeet is one of those little yellow birds. Okay. So which one weighs more, the fish or the parakeet? The fish. So we're going to put one box next to the parakeet because we don't know how much that parakeet weighs. But what we do know is that the fish is 8 times as big as the parakeet. So how many boxes go next to the fish? 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so together they weigh 63. So all together, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 boxes add up to be 63. If you take 63 and divide it into 9 groups, how much goes in each group? Ella? Seven. 7 goes in each group. So let's put 7 in each group. 7 to the parakeet. 7 in each of these boxes next to the fish.
I've actually held a parakeet before. My friend.
I'm not talking to you about parakeets right now. Okay, so we have 63 total up there. 7 to the parakeet, the rest to the fish. Let's figure out. So the question is, how much does the fish weigh? 7 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fish weighs how much?
8.
Ethan.
54.
No. Shelby. Ella. Landon. Somebody.
63. 56. 63.
56. 7 times 8 is 56. 56 ounces. Okay?
I was so close.
You were. That's why I said you were so close.
I figured out how to get you said I said 66. I
No.
said 56.
All right. Okay. So you guys are going to have more questions like this, and I want you to understand how to do them. So not today, but these are important. This is algebra. This is important that you can find an unknown value.
It's not like what if I go with it?
Okay, I'm going to turn the video off.